Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm the inspirational Andy Murray from WhatCulture. And remember, in this life, one thing counts: in the bank, large amounts.
And this is the news.
Live from New York once
Yes!
again. Man, what a scene this is. You guys are so lucky, I guess. Not as lucky as us though. Story number one, AEW. Sounds like they've got themselves a bloody TV deal.
Hey.
This is according to Jim Ross, who unfortunately left a few details slip in a recent radio interview. I have the exact quote from Mr. JR here. He said, when asked about AEW, "I have been anointed the voice of a brand that's going to be debuting on national television on a major cable network." Now, the word is within the wrestling media at the moment that AEW are going to debut on this network. They're going to have a 2-year contract. It's a network that's going to be available in a lot of homes nationwide, and it's going to start in October, perhaps on a Tuesday night. They've registered the trademark for Tuesday Night Dynamite. When SmackDown goes to Friday nights, that'll obviously free that up. There won't be a head-to-head. This is exciting stuff, Adam Wilborn.
Yeah, it's the thing we've always questioned about AEW. Not questioned, but just concerned ourselves about, I suppose. It's all well and good signing all these big names and having all these huge pay-per-views and having such buzz around AEW, but the bread and butter for any wrestling promotion is a TV deal. And if JR is correct here, a nationwide TV deal with lots of potential to reach homes in the States, that could be the big swing for them.
It's what they need. I mean, it does feel like the AEW buzz has cooled off a little bit. That's only because they haven't really been able to do anything. You know, Double or Nothing isn't until May. Obviously, WWE have all the buzz in April with Mania and the fallout from that. Things are going to kick right back up again. This is really phenomenal stuff. AEW needs a TV deal. If it doesn't have a TV deal, it cannot do anything. It can't rival WWE if that is indeed the goal. It can't establish a foothold. It can't make money if it doesn't have a TV deal. This is super exciting, and I cannot wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah, if they can get this, then it can really be a launch pad for AEW.
Absolutely.
Right, next news story to tell you about today. Ahead of, in a few short minutes, we're going to tell you about a potential new signing for WWE. Oh, a couple of ones actually. But before we get to that, new tag team belts are apparently set to be revealed at WrestleMania for both Raw and SmackDown. This comes from Belt Fan Dan on Twitter, who revealed they're probably going to be going back to sort of a classic style
Old school
for
design.
the tag team belts, which is a lot of fans I know have been crying out for. A lot of excitement around this, and I bet they cannot wait when the Revival don't win those on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the thing. That'd be the most WWE thing in the world to do, wouldn't it? Get these nice, new, shiny, old school style belts that the Revival would fit like a glove, and then have them lose to Kurt Hawkins.
Zack Ryder.
He's gonna break his I'm not going to say undefeated streak. He is far from undefeated, that guy. I think this is good news, man. Like, those tag team titles they have at the moment, they aren't nice to look at. They look like little toy belts. The coloured strap with the stupid little gladiator things on the pendants. It's not a nice design. I am all for big, elaborate belt designs. I love the UK Championship. I love the IWGP Heavyweight title, which is actually just getting changed bizarrely.
Yeah,
things like that, like the classic designs, the things that look regal almost. Like, they almost look like something that should belong as a set of crown jewels, the best wrestling belts. And you can't really say that about a lot of WWE ones.
My only concern here is if they debut these beautiful belts, as is being suggested, and then put them on Zack Ryder, the SmackDown ones will probably, look at the teams that are in there. Any of those.
That's a coin flip, yeah. If you have a coin that has 5
but
sides.
If you put them on Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, I love them, and congratulations to Zack Ryder on getting engaged, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you put them on them, you are moving chairs around on the Titanic. You need to establish your tag team division on Monday Night Raw. Again, you had a joke of a match last year, which was entertaining, but was silly.
Yeah.
This could be the start of something really exciting if you give it to the Revival. If not, then...
Let's find out at WrestleMania if WWE still give a damn about tag team wrestling. So, WWE debuted a new signing, well, 2 new signings actually, at TakeOver last night. We were there. I don't know why I forgot the name of the event.
Yeah.
Piper Niven was ringside. We recently saw her show up in NXT UK. She was unveiled alongside Toni Storm, who is, of course, the NXT UK Women's Champion, in the front row. But the big signing here is Kushida, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion,
Former WCPW World Cup winner.
That was my next line. Honestly. Former ace of that division. He was a big deal in New Japan. Sublime babyface. Great MMA-style ring offense. Submissions and strikes. Doesn't really do a lot of the flippy stuff, and that'll help him stand out a little bit. it's a really interesting signing. He got a massive pop in the arena, a massive pop, and that's really encouraging. The thing about Kushida is the same concern you have with almost every Japanese wrestler who walks in. WWE's historic track record is obviously very poor, but he's a guy who can get over it on the strength of his ring work alone. The concern with him is that he's not as charismatic as a Shinsuke Nakamura or an Asuka. On the charisma level, he's more of a Hideo Itami, and Hideo Itami's WWE career obviously did not work out. Now, there were other reasons for that. Kushida's nowhere near as beaten up and bedraggled and destroyed as Itami's body was by the time he even arrived in WWE before he had all these injuries. But it's an exciting signing, and Adam, I'm really curious to know what you think of this as someone who perhaps isn't as much of a New Japan nutjob.
Yeah,
myself.
I'm not as much of a New Japan nutjob. I'm slightly biased, having worked with him when we had him in WCPW, of course, and having seen him. And the thing I got, and the thing we always mentioned about NXT is such a good place to bring people in, arguably, rather than just chuck them on the main roster, is certainly what I got from last night at TakeOver. It's fans of more purer wrestling. You don't have to do all the hokey stuff, you might argue, that you do on the main roster. Yeah, exactly. And having seen him wrestle, I remember watching him wrestle Will Ospreay in the World Cup final, which I'm sure is available on our YouTube channel as well. He's just phenomenally talented, and they can just get him down back to those basics to start off with without trying to force a gimmick on him.
Yeah.
There still is a lot of potential, and I think he could do good things and big things, and could be a version of Hideo Itami if he hadn't have gotten injured, because there was so much excitement when they first
There really
signed him.
was. It's a shame how that panned out.
Right, final news story of today to tell you about another potential new signing for WWE. Michael Elgin, former Ring of Honor World Champion, is being rumoured to sign for WWE. The ship's just coming in to bring him in for an interview.
Very
shortly.
good.
Yeah, he's been rumoured to sign for WWE. It has been confirmed that he has left New Japan.
Yes.
Look, he has wrestled all over the world. He is phenomenally talented, and it's an interesting career progression for him because he's wrestled everywhere except WWE.
It's a very interesting thing, the Michael Elgin situation. Now, we can't mention Michael Elgin without mentioning certain controversies that went down a couple of years ago. Certain accusations were made, certain charges were filed, things played out the way they did. You just have to acknowledge that. I know people don't like it when we say stuff like this, but it is what it is. It's something that has hampered a lot of people's enjoyment of Michael Elgin. It's something that has affected his bookings across America in particular, where he has really struggled. He's had to dip out of a lot of independent scenes after these things. Here's the thing about Michael Elgin, though. He is a phenomenal professional wrestler. Maybe not the most charismatic, but he is a sublime powerhouse. He's not even the biggest guy. I think he's only about 5'9". He's like a stout little bull of a man. But he's one of the strongest wrestlers I think I've ever seen in the modern era. He can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the ring. WWE, of course they picked him up, of course they did. He's a name value free agent in this market. AEW, you have to imagine we're sniffing around. I'm excited to see what he can do. My enjoyment of his work has unfortunately soured over the past few years because of the situation that I just mentioned that I'm not going to go into on camera. You can look that up yourself. Yeah, interesting signing. Let's see how it pans out.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
it goes down, indeed.
Let us know your thoughts. I'd be intrigued to find them out in the comment section below. Let's move on to today's Twitter question. Don't forget you can tweet them at us at WhatCultureWWE. We start the question from Daniel, who says, bit of an odd one here. To bring some prestige back to the United States Championship, which former WWE guy would you bring back, and how would you run
my
the
goodness.
reign?
I'll tell you what, mate, I'm going to let you start with this one because I need to think about that.
I am going to bring back MVP just because I want to see his entrance again. And I really enjoyed him. Look, I think it's right as an overarching thing as well. They do need to bring prestige back to the United States Championship. I was chatting to former Intercontinental Champion D'Lo Brown yesterday about how they sort of have handled mid-card titles, and he agreed. Look, they need to be made to really be valued. When he and X-Pac fought over
He's such a smart
titles,
guy.
When he and X-Pac fought over titles, they made it feel like the biggest thing in the world, and that's what you need to do with this.
Those
not as a
matches
stepping
were
stone
awesome
to the
as well. Really underrated series. My guy is surprise name Juice Robinson. He was of course in NXT as CJ Parker. He is twice the performer he is now. Now WWE are probably never getting him back. He's become such a big deal in Japan. He's really over. He's really popular. He is transformed into such a charismatic worker. I know he was never on the main roster. I know he's not necessarily the big name that some people might want in this role, but he can wrestle. He can talk. He's got a great character. He really connects. He's honestly tailor-made for WWE now, but he's probably never leaving New Japan. So.
Just going to put this out there. Get John Cena to come back and do a 6-month run where he makes it the biggest thing in the world. Because he did. He brought so much value back to them, and then it's one of the
Big banter, John, as well.
But I think Joe could still bring that back to the title. Anyway, next question comes from Aditya Sawant on Twitter, who says, do you think Randy Orton will be booked to win at WrestleMania? to have WWE go over the indies?
I think there's a strong possibility, man. Like, Vince McMahon is so goddamn petty, and at a time when AEW are really like putting a dent in how they operate, yeah, that's a really strong possibility. We saw like a couple of years ago at WrestleMania, for God's sake, they had Triple H go over Sting and all the buddies came down and stuff as a symbolic
It's
WWE.
the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, that ended like 20 years ago, my guy. What the hell are you doing? Vince is the pettiest man in the universe. He will do something like that.
Yeah, I really am excited for that match. So it's a
I think it's going to be great.
Low-key match of the night, potentially.
100%, man. 100%.
Final question of today comes from Sean Wallace, who references last night's NXT TakeOver New York. Says, after the NXT main event, do Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era go to the main roster? And also, who should Gargano's first challenger be?
Wow, Adam Cole and Undisputed, I think, will go to the main roster. I think we will see them on Monday night. I'm all for that. They can create a brand, they can take over, it'll be amazing. Who should Gargano's first opponent be? I was thinking about this last night. I don't think there's an obvious choice.
No.
I really don't. Who do you elevate? Ricochet and Black are going. Ciampa's obviously injured, he's going to be out for a long, long time. It's tough. Once you get down that list, you're looking at guys like Matt Riddle, but he lost last night. Dream has the secondary championship. Honest to goodness, you might be looking at a guy like Dominik Dijakovic, who hasn't been on TV all that long. He has only really had this little Keith Lee mini feud that they haven't had a chance to blow off yet because Keith Lee's injured. It's really hard to tell. Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne is a great shout.
It's Pete Dunne. It's Pete Dunne.
It's a very, very good call. I just had an image in my head of Keith Lee sending Johnny Gargano into orbit for a split second there.
Punting him into the nosebleeds.
The bruiserweight. That is a great shout. Let us know who you think that should be in the comment section below, though. Let's move on to today's ad. Finally, I want to share this with you just because it's WrestleMania weekend and we love a bit of banter between all the wrestlers. Big E posted a lovely picture on Instagram recently of him working out and pumping iron in the gym, and his good friend Randy Orton left this comment. Andy Murray, have you seen it? Nice tits, bro. Randy Orton, Boy Popper of the Year, confirmed.
I tell you what, Big E might have nice tits, but Randy Orton is just blowing mine clean off.
It was Dean Ambrose, who had Titty Master written on his hand when he fought Big E.
To be fair, Big E's pecs, he's a built man.
He's a stacked dude. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And send us your Twitter questions all across WrestleMania weekend at WhatCulture WWE.
We are here until Tuesday.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for honourable.
You can follow me at Adam Wilwood. You can follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.